All praises to Yahweh, all praises to Yahweh Shai, all praises for the Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone that have been and continue to teach the true gospel. Salute to the Akim spreading the true gospel on the streets and lanes of the city, on the highways and hedges, and on the World Wide Web. And much love to the humble Akwath, who learn in silence with all subjection, and are in righteous order to the men of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. This is the Brother Raza from the Church of Philadelphia camp. And I want to bring to you today, as I know through faith, the elect will reclaim their nationality. So the first scripture that I have is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And we know, I'm sure you brothers know that when you talk to people, we tell them that we are a special people. We are the chosen people. We're above everyone that are upon the face of the earth. And we want to be equal to everybody. We want to say everybody's equal. But the scriptures tell you otherwise. We are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And as I continue, and just to reiterate, when you look at the first line, for thou art an holy people. That word holy means set apart. So it tells you right there we're separate. And he separated us from all other nations. So just continuing on through the precepts, just again so that we can understand that we are above all people, that we are a set apart people, and that we are the chosen people. So I'm going to get 2 Samuel chapter 7 starting at verse 23. The book of 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 23. And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel, whom God went to redeem for a people to himself. So again, for himself, he's chosen a people, and to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their gods. And everyone knows the story of Egypt, how Moses went through the power of Yahweh Shai and redeemed us from that captivity. And if it wasn't for the Lord who's on our side, who would have known what would have happened to us? But again, because we were that chosen people, he got us up out of that land. And to further prove that the Lord has basically one of everything, let's go to the book of 2 Esdras chapter 5, and we'll start at verse 23. Let's look at that. The book of 2 Esdras chapter 5 verse 23. And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee one only vine. And of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. And of all the flowers thereof, one lily. And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river. And of all builded cities, thou hast hallowed Zion unto thyself. And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove. And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. And unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. So we, again, I got a precept for that in terms of who the law was given to. But as you see in these scriptures that I read before, he's chosen one of everything. So one of one, and we're that one of one in terms of the people. And so reading that last one, verse 27, and among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. And unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. So let's see who the law was given to. Let's go to the book of Psalm, and I want chapter 147. In verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. So let me read that again. The book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob. What's his word? The word is the law. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel. It doesn't say any other nation. And it tells you, just reading on, he hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. And when you look at everything that's happened to our people in this captivity for the last, over 400 years, 500 years, wherever you want to calculate it, he has been kicking our ass because we decided to follow the heathen and do what we wanted to do. But again, the law was given to his people. And so let's look at where that came from in terms of let's look at Leviticus. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. So we're his chosen people. He gave us a law. We decided not to follow that law. So there's judgments for that. And these two verses in Psalms 147 tell you there's judgments for that. In this verse, it tells you there's judgments for that. But again, through faith, we know that the elect will come back to remembrance of their nationality. And when you look here, when you talk about judgments, I mean, Deuteronomy chapter 28, he said, if you follow my laws, these will be the blessings, up to 15. And then after that, this will be the curses if you do not follow the laws. And if we read through it, those curses fit nobody but the so-called African-American, black, whatever you want to call us, the so-called Hispanics, Latinos, and the so-called Native Indians, Native Americans, again, whatever those bywords they call us. But we know, again, through faith and through this word and through scriptures that we are the Israelites. So further proving, again, how we need to come back to our nationality and understanding who we are and whom's we are so that we can begin to govern ourselves accordingly and according to this word, according to these scriptures. Let me get Joel 2 and 27. So it's the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. The Lord your God and none else, nobody else. It's time for us to wake up. And again, through faith, we know that the elect will wake up once they hear this word. The Lord is looking for 144,000 men. That number is sealed. And then it's time for America to be destroyed. That's our hope. That's our faith. That's what we're looking for. And when you look at, the scriptures on faith, it really lets you know that the elect, the men of the Lord that have been predestined, before the words written on these pages, that we will wake up in these last days. So we know that we're in the last days because so many men across the world, in the four corners of the world, are waking up. And we need to continue to just push this word. The men of the Lord need to continue to push this word through and through. This is Isaiah. Let me get this. Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So he's going to, again, he's going to set us in our own land. As we continue to build our faith and continue to build the faith of the hopeful elect, and we say hopeful elect because no one's been saved yet. So we're all fighting for that salvation. We're all fighting for that penny to be saved through Yahweh Shai. So let me get some more precepts on this. Go to and I know I talked about faith, so let me get this, because this is very important, and particularly in these last days. You know, I know the brothers have taught me just prayers of faith, so that Lord willing, again, that I be of that number through prayer and keeping the faith. So this is Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And how do you diligently seek him? By going out on the highways and hedges, by putting your work on the World Wide Web, by praying, by fasting, by congregating with brothers. That's how you show your faith. And you got to show your faith. You can't just talk about your faith. You got to show your faith. Getting back to the word in terms of, again, just reclaiming who we are. This is ours. This is our nationality. It's not about a religion. It's not about just the customs. This is our nationality. And we have customs to follow. We have laws to follow. And the laws are in this word. So let me get Isaiah 44. Where I want to go. And 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, in Israel, whom I have chosen. I know the Christian pastors talk about it's for everybody, and we want to get all the nations. But again, there's certain scriptures that tell you going broad is not the way. This is a narrow path, which means it's a small number, a small remnant of people that will actually understand who they are and whom's they are. You got billions of Christians across the world. If that was the way, we'd all be in the promised land. If Islam was the way, there's billions of Muslims all over the world. If that was the way, there'd be no more war on earth. We know that's not the way. And we know that the Lord saved the prophets and the apostles and elected them to come in these last days to preach this word. So I got my last scripture for this video, and hopefully this video was edifying. Let me go into this. It's because this is what we have to remember and bethink ourselves, as the scripture says. This is Leviticus chapter 26, verse 42. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. This is not that hard. It's actually simple. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's a lineage, and you'll see that all throughout the Bible. So I don't care what Pastor Porkchop got to say. I don't care what Reverend Rib Tip got to say. And all the church mothers with that Mama Say Mama Saba Makusa spirit running up and down the goddamn church. madness. We got to come out of that. And again, reclaim who we are as a chosen people. This is the brother Riser from the Church of Philadelphia camp. All praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh Shai. All praises for the Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.